Hey guys, this looks like a fun bike. It's got 12 gears on it. It's called the Relativity Special. And there are two things that are special about it. The first is if you give the pedal one rotation, you'll end up going around the Earth 6 times. And the other claim is if you're riding this bike at 90 rotations per minute, you'll be traveling faster than the speed of light. So this part about doing the pedals at 90 rotations per minute, that's pretty common. I looked it up on Google and it's common to be between 80 and 100 rotations per minute. What's interesting about this though is at this normal pace, most bikes would not be faster than the speed of light. So I'm thinking we should do the math and see if these are realistic. So first let's zoom in here and these all look to be about the same. So let's just choose one that should be easy to look at. Here's a good view of a big side. So let's do this one right here. And then this looks like a pretty good view of a small side. So let's do this one right here. So let's zoom in on these and I want to count the teeth. This can be the first tooth and we'll go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the 10th one is right here. And then we'll count another 10 and the 20th one is right there. Another 10 gives us the 30th right there. Another 10, the 40th is right there. And this ends up stopping on 50. So this gear is a 50 tooth gear. And let's count the smaller side. We have one tooth there, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm counting 11 teeth on the smaller side. So the big side is 50 tooth and the small side is 11 tooth. So let's find the ratio. So the ratio will be this 50 over this 11, and that's approximately 4.55. So that means if we go from the larger gear to the smaller gear, one rotation of this gear would be 4.55 rotations of this gear. And then that's going to end up happening 12 times. All of these gears look like they're off of different bikes, so this might not be the only ratio. Let's call this ratio 1, and there is a possibility for another ratio. I suspect it'll be pretty close. Let's just make up one that would be something like 50 over 10, and that'd be equal to 5. I bet there's a couple other ratios, but this shows us a nice range. So every time we go from a larger gear to a smaller gear, we're going to be increasing the rotations of our back tire by some multiple between 4.55 and 5. So that could look something like this. For the 12 gears, we could apply the ratio 1 to 9 of the gears. And then for the remaining 3 gears, we can apply ratio 2. After we multiply these, we get 104,475,049. So ultimately, this number means one pedal rotation, so pedaling just one time, will cause the back wheel to rotate 104,475,049 times. That's pretty crazy. Next, we should find out the circumference of the back wheel. I looked it up in Google, and a good estimate for the circumference is 2,311 millimeters. So now we can find the distance we would travel with one pedal rotation. It's going to be the number of back wheel rotations times the circumference. And that's going to give us 241.4 billion millimeters. And that's about 241,442 kilometers. This looks important. Let's put a box around it. And then let's compare it to the circumference of Earth. That's about 40,075 kilometers. So if we want to figure out how many times we would go around Earth if we pedaled exactly one time, we would end up dividing the distance the bike travels divided by the Earth's circumference. And 241,442 divided by 40,075 is about 6.02. So if we pedal the pedal on that bike one time, we'll go around the Earth 6.02 times. And now we can get rid of this first question mark and change it into a check mark. We verified that pedaling once will go around the Earth 6 times. Next, let's see if it'll go faster than the speed of light. So we're checking, is bike speed greater than light speed? Well, the best way to compare these is let's find out what each of these are. So for the speed of light, it looks to be about 17,987,520 kilometers per minute. So to find the speed of the bike, we definitely have to use the 90 rotations per minute. That tells us how fast we're going to be spinning that pedal around. And every time that pedal spins around, we're going to be traveling 241,442 kilometers. So that means the bike speed will be approximately equal to the 90 rotations per minute times the 241,442 kilometers per rotation. When multiplying this times this, we'll notice the rotations on top can cancel with the rotations on bottom. So let's get rid of those. And this minute on bottom can be moved to the bottom over here, and let's smush everything together. 90 times 241,442 is equal to 21,729,780 kilometers per minute. And light speed is about 18 million kilometers per minute. The bike speed would be faster than light speed. And now this is no longer in question. We can change it to a check mark. It appears the claims of the bike are true. If you pedaled around once, you would travel 6 times around the Earth. And if you were pedaling at 90 rotations per minute, you'd be traveling faster than the speed of light. How exciting.